Hey, my name is Dave from Black Leadership Analysis. I want to talk to you a second today about the concept of self-hate. Now, a lot of times you talk about a lot of black issues, the idea of self-hate comes up. And it's this idea that black people either secretly or openly just despise themselves and want to see negative things happen to other black people or want to separate themselves from other black people. And it all started actually from a psychological concept put forth by two white people named the Horowitzes, husband and wife duo of PhDs. They devised this thing called the doll test. And they gave it to numerous children. They asked them which dolls did they prefer. They had black dolls and white dolls. And of the hundreds of kids they selected, only 5 were black. And those 5 children all preferred the white dolls. And so from there, they conceptualized that these 5 children from the ages of 3 to 6, that all black people secretly had a wish to be white or emulate white society. They didn't take any of the cultural context with them with any of these assumptions. For example, is it that black people prefer white society, or is it that we know we have to assimilate to get along? They didn't have those cultural competencies. But since they were the most prominent psychologists on race at the time, everybody believed them. That is until the Clarks came along, another husband and wife duo. They got PhDs under the Horowitzes because they had to, because they were the leading race theorists at the time. And so they learned from them, and they learned about the test, and they devised their own doll test. And the Clark's doll test separated out light-skinned, brown-skinned, and dark-skinned black people. And they had white dolls, light-skinned dolls, dark-skinned dolls, and brown-skinned dolls. And they had a sample of a few hundred children, and the age ranges were larger. I think it was from 3 to 12. I have a video on this, the evolution of ethnic identity development, where I talk about it in more detail. It's fresh on my mind. So you might want to go back and look at that video. But it turns out that a 3 to 6-year-old doesn't even understand the concept of race. A 3 to 6-year-old just matches their skin color with the skin color of the doll, and most 3 to 6-year-olds picked dolls that were closer to their skin color in preference. Of the older kids, most of them preferred black dolls to white dolls. So this idea of self-hate has never actually been proven. And it just goes to show you how concepts made outside our culture have such a profound effect on us. And if we really want to understand ourselves, we really have to retrain ourselves using data gathered from other black people. Now, like I was saying, with black folks and this concept of self-hate, it's actually extremely counterproductive to dialogue. Because what you see oftentimes is, anytime two black people have a disagreement, or someone black doesn't like what someone else black is doing, they'll throw this idea out that the person must hate themselves, which is literally the most dismissive thing you can do to someone, is just say they're acting completely irrationally and that they just have some deep need to hate themselves. What's a lot more productive is to actually understand why they could rationally have come to a different decision than you. That gives them respect and, gives them the benefit of the doubt that maybe they just come to a different conclusion than you. Even they could be right and you could be wrong. And I think that's how it's going to give us some much more constructive dialogue when we talk to each other. And it's not just this infighting to get people forced into this camp or the next camp. Often I see people, if you express an idea that isn't separatist or Pan-Africanist, people try to act like you hate yourself. That's the only way you came to that conclusion. Simply not true. Everybody's not going to be a separatist. I'm not a separatist. So it doesn't mean I hate myself. It's just that I understand that multicultural societies work better and have always worked better. I mean, that's all I got to say about that.